We wanted to create one central location where you can turn to at any time and call and ask for help.
You have people who have lost their jobs, they can't get health insurance, they literally can't put bread on the table. People with massive issues. You're talking about brain trauma, heart problems, financial issues.
Hi, Shaked. 95% of the families that I service, with the rates of insurance being, 20,000 plus per year, they wouldn't have insurance if these programs weren't around.
Achiezer.
We're fielding more than 600 calls every single week.
Achiezer is really a warm, safe, confidential place for people to come when they are having any kind of difficulty.
A one-stop shop. A one-stop place for all one's needs.
As part of the executive board, we get together every month or two. We need to find a new office, we need to hire new people, and that decision is made as a group. In fact, all the board members over here do not receive a penny. Everybody's doing this on their own.
There was a friend of mine from the community who has been suffering from a real substance abuse issue. And it had finally reached a point where, frankly, I was afraid for his life. Within minutes, Baruch Bear had put together a mini SWAT team.
A social worker that would come along with us. It was a psychologist, top psychiatrists in the city, the CEO of a hospital being put on standby. It was bringing in the dedicated Hatzalah guys.
Baruch Bear literally performed an intervention on the spot. He arranged to have him taken to a top-rate hospital in Manhattan.
When we spoke to the doctor by 9 o'clock the next morning, he just said, I don't think he would have been around the next morning if you guys hadn't done what you'd done.
Achiezer is a life and death organization because you make the wrong move when the doctor does something. If he's not the best doctor, it is a life and death situation.
My mother-in-law was at our house for Shabbos, and sometime late afternoon she started experiencing severe abdominal cramping and nausea, and then it turned into vomiting, and they took her immediately and they said the gallbladder has to come out. We weren't really sure where to turn.
They were very scared. What do we do? Do we do surgery here? Do we do surgery overall? Do we get a second opinion, a third opinion? Which hospital do we go to?
When we called Achiezer, Achiezer gave us clarity. I mean, they gave us that, we know that there's an extensive network. Achiezer has an extensive network of the best doctors and the best hospitals and connections.
We located the chief of surgery in a pretty prestigious hospital, and we turned to him and we said, we have this in this situation. Can you give us a hand? Can you be there?
Somehow, within 12 hours, she was the top surgeon operating on her.
He sent me a text message to the doctor the next morning. It was a little more complicated than we thought. I'm glad you got her here. She's gonna be okay. And you know what? Just those simple words, she's gonna be okay. The whole office, we all felt like $1 million.
My mother-in-law is back, she's vigorous. She's as feisty as ever. She's in the peak of health. She's super mom. Having Achiezer there at our disposal every step of the way, from which hospital, which doctor, is this doctor good enough, who's the best doctor? They're just there as a soundboard, as a guide throughout the entire process.
He loved people. He loved people and people knew it. He always said hello to everybody and he greeted everyone with a smile.
Our father had passed away in the hospital. It was very early Sunday morning.
Our Achiezer emergency pager went off. They explained to him that he was not going to be able to be buried until the next day.
We were making phone calls to the local funeral homes to see if they would be able to help out. There were a lot of other phone calls, a lot of things going on. Politicians were woke up, local politicians. The people were concerned, but nobody had anything to do.
Certain papers needed to be signed, certain procedures needed to be followed, and that's what they were told was going to be the case.
Avram called me and he goes, Chalina, what should I do? And I'm thinking and thinking, and all of a sudden, light bulbs flashed on and said, Achiezer, Baruch Bear Bender.
Then we dug up a contact. I don't think he was too pleased being woken at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. He said, Rabbi, I'd like to help you, but I'll be in the office tomorrow. I said to him, you have to understand that we cannot wait till tomorrow. There has to be something we can do.
Within a half hour, problem solved. Literally problem solved.
About 45 minutes later, we had a hearse rolling up to this Leslie's house in Uniondale. True to his word, he came to the door in his pajamas. I think he was blown away.
And we, the whole, Sofa family, we forever embedded.
When a person is nifter, the only nachama we can give them, the only comfort we can give, is that they'll be buried in a timely fashion. It'll be done in a quiet way, in a dignifying way.
I've had a runny nose for about a year, and I was getting shots thinking it was allergies, and it turned out that I had a hole in my skull, and brain fluid was pouring into my sinuses. It's literally a miracle that I was alive. The insurance companies decided that I shouldn't use the top doctors, I should use someone from a running list.
Vicki Davis became part of this office for quite some time. Everybody knew her by first name basis because we spoke probably for 3 months straight.
Phone calls were made daily. I wasn't directly involved. Everyone else was basically taking care of this for me.
And the problem was really that Vicki's insurance, was lacking. And the doctors were saying she needs the surgery, she's got to come in, she's got to have it. Oh, and by the way, there's going to be a $90,000 bill attached to it.
They realized they were not going to give up on me and that these were the correct doctors that did need to save my life.
The trauma of that procedure itself, no one should ever even have to go through. But going into that procedure, knowing that you're going to have bills that maybe you spend the rest of your life having to pay back, was just, it's frightening to think about it now. One of our board members, Carmi Grimbaum, was particularly involved. And I believe at one point he literally crashed a New Year's party, one of the insurance companies.
My surgery was scheduled for a Monday morning, and the insurance company was fighting with us till Friday afternoon. We got a phone call at 2:15 that they did approve the surgery and that I could use my doctors.
It was just a tremendous thing to be able to call Vicki. She literally broke down with tears in the phone.
And the surgery was a success, and thanks to everyone at Achiezer, I was able to have this and didn't have the extra medical costs.
Here, they actually take somebody by the hand from beginning to end. In other places, if the problem can't be solved simply with what's at hand, it's dropped. Here, they actually go out and create the resources if they don't exist.
I'm grateful that I had Achiezer in this situation to help me fight the insurance company and win. In the Jewish community, we were very fortunate to have organizations like this that, we know we could turn to.